Hey crafters, it's me Jen Evers with Quality Crafts, and today I have a really fun craft to do with you. Although I don't work with wire very much, so I'm really awkward at making these flowers, but I'm really good at using nail polish. And I'm going to try to show you here. These are flowers obviously made with the wire, like I said, and they've got nail polish on them. And I'm going to kind of show you that. So let's go down to the table and get started. So in the frame you can see the two flowers that I finished, and this is the one that I just recently made using the wire. And the center of it is all kind of a bunch of knotted wire because I'm just, like I said, I'm not savvy on wire making things, but I can cover that up with a beaded center, which is what all of these things here are for. So when I'm done, I'm going to pick a center that matches this really well and cover that up. And I've got E6000 here that I'm going to use to do that with. So this flower, I've chosen a color. Let's see if I can see it. It's called, oh, it's a very shiny red. I cannot read it. I wish I could. Anyway, it's just way too tiny. I can't read it. So I'm going to show you how I cover this with fingernail polish, and it's not always very easy to do. So here's what I try to do is I try to use a lot of it and coat the outside first, and then kind of try to drag it back and forth until it sticks. Okay, that was a little out of frame. Let me do another one. I go around the outside of it and then just kind of go back and forth and get more. I just get as much as I can get on that brush to try to go back and forth to make it form that seal and that bubble. There we go. And sometimes it happens rather quickly, and sometimes I have to fuss with it a bit, so I don't know what to tell you about that. I haven't seen a lot of videos on how to do this. One of my friends, hey Cher sent me a picture of these, and it was a site that had, I think, 2D like description and pictures, but not an actual video where you could see how it was done. So I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So, you know, this one I'm having a lot more trouble with. I can't quite get that fancy bubble to form. I had the same issue on some of the other ones that I did, so there we go. Oop. You know, trial and error, I guess. If you've made these before and you just haven't done a video, but you have a really great way of making this work, I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment or link me the video, that'd be good. Oh shoot, sweet, I got one. Okay, the smaller they are, the easier it is to make that seal. The little, the little ones just are a lot simpler. I am totally out of frame, I apologize. That little one just went so well and so smooth. The bigger they are, the harder they are to get to form. Oh, I almost had that one. There we go. So I hope some of that was showing. You end up with this, and then you do have to let these sit for quite a while and let them dry. You could always put on an extra layer, which I'd like to do. I'd like to maybe put on another layer or put a glitter layer over the top, something like that. This one that I did was just a plain pink, just a one layer plain pink. And this one was a 1 layer sheer glitter polish. So some of it is actually not even opaque. You can see through it. I really like the look of that. So I'm going to set this red one aside and let it dry. And then I'm going to look for, like I said, a center to cover up my not so great wire working skill. This one, there's even more of a gap. I guess I didn't twist these as much as I twisted the other ones. Anyhow, I'm thinking that maybe one of these look really pretty in there, maybe a smaller one like that size. And these are already sticky, but I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of E6000 because I don't want it to pop off later on when I'm working with something else and I'm trying to put it on a project. My E6000 is very old. I'm going to show you what I do. Squeeze it out and get rid of the stuff that's more gelled. until I can tell that it's there. We go, then it's wet. And then I'm going to put just a little bit on there, right in the center. And then add that gem. Try not to touch the E6000 if you're using it, obviously. But that way, you won't really see so much of the wire part. That's kind of cool. Got that one? Okay, let's try to find one for this one. This one you can see there's a little bit more of the knotted wire in the center. Right there. I'm going to cover that up. But I want something that's a little bit more, I don't know, a little more natural of a color. Although, yeah, these just aren't. I do kind of like that clear one that I've used. I can always color these too, because you can put color on these if you use your alcohol markers. So I'm going to use a large one of these. I've got a whole bunch of this glue coming out, so I'm going to quick stick the cap on. And then another trick I like to do with my E6000 is pull out, I've got a container of toothpicks here, and just use a little bit of that on the end of a toothpick and put it on that way. Just so I don't waste this whole gob that I have just hanging out here. Spin it around and get one of these gems on there. And I got a little bit in a spot that I don't want it, so I'm just going to use my toothpick to get rid of that. I can always color that later. Like I said, if I pull out my spectrums, I can even color the middle of that pink one if I don't want it to be totally clear. But aren't they cute? And that will look really pretty in the center of this red one as well. And it's quite a different look. Now I'm going to show you very quickly, not an entire flower because I'm just not that great at it, but I want you to see kind of how I did mine. So I have this really thin wire. I've got other wires too, but the thin stuff just seems to work the best. And I'm going to cut off just a piece, a small piece here. And what I do is I wrap mine around a pencil. So take the end, wrap it around a pencil. Like once so that it crosses, and then turn the pencil in the opposite direction so that it causes it to twist right there. I hope you can see that. Oops, then I pull the pencil out, and if I want it to be circular, I just leave it. With the ones that I did for this red one right here where they were a little bit oblong, all I did was take the wire and actually just squeeze it in my fingers and squeeze it a little bit harder on one end. And then the next piece of wire, this would actually be the stem, the short one, but I didn't want to waste a bunch of wire. Then with the rest of this, I would just put the pencil back on, twist it around again, and then where it crosses there, twist the pencil so that it makes a twist right there, and then pull the pencil out. And then with that, I would just squeeze it again and make it longer. And then all I do is just kind of push them so that they come together. And then I continue. But do you see all the extra wire that makes right there underneath it? Anyway, so there's probably other videos out there that will show that a lot better. But here again are the 3 that I finished. And I think they're really cool. You could crop them off and put them on a project, or you could leave them on the stem and stick them in that foam that you can get at the dollar store and whatnot, and stick them up, or whatever you can think of. So thanks for joining me today. I thought that was really fun. I wanted to share it with you guys, and I'll see you guys next video. Wow.